magic woman et un air de princesse, un regard, un murmure et la vie s'arrête. Oh black magic woman, aveu de mes faiblesses, mon cœur hors les murs dit que le désir s'apprête. Black magic woman et un air de princesse, un regard, un murmure.
My name is Mariette Monpierre. My film is Elsa, and I'm the first woman filmmaker to have shot a feature narrative on the island of Guadeloupe. I was born in Guadeloupe, in the French West Indies. It's an island. I grew up in Paris, and now I live in New York. I'm a filmmaker, director, producer, living in Soho and living the American dream. I love Paris. I always miss Guadeloupe because Guadeloupe is my home, but I consider Paris also my home. I love it because I was able to I had the opportunity of going to wonderful schools, public, free schools, and I got a great education. And this is the reason why my mom brought the whole family to Paris, to be able to get a better life and to be who we wanted to be. Well, I did kindergarten in Guadeloupe. Then I moved to Paris when I was 6 years old, and I went to the Sorbonne University where I graduated in languages, Spanish and English, and also communications and Latin American studies. Then after my master in France, I came to Smith College to do postgraduate studies, and that's where my life actually took a turn for the best. That's where I discovered my black consciousness, and also I had the guts to say that I wanted to be a filmmaker, I wanted to be a director, and I started a career in film productions. Sweet honey, yeah. I started my career working as a TV commercial producer in a big advertising agency called BBDO New York, and there I produced commercials for big clients like Pepsi, Federal Express, Pizza Hut, Visa, Gillette, and I really got the opportunity to learn the craft in advertising, and I think it's a wonderful school for two reasons. Because first of all, you get a paycheck every week. So that's not a bad thing. You have a feeling of security, and at the same time, you're learning your craft, and it is important because for me, I was able to learn from the best of TV commercial producers, the best editors, the best director, and I worked in advertising for about 12 years. After 12 years, I was missing something. I needed to tell my stories, and I wanted to tell my stories in more than 30 seconds. The 30-second format became a bit of a limited format for me, although I loved it. But most of all, I wanted to share with the audience what I had inside, the subject matters that really was concerning me, and that's why I decided to become a film director. I always wanted to be a film director, but I had the guts to really make the leap, make the jump, and say, okay, this is what I wanted to do, and I'm going to do it now. My short film called Chez Moi. In English, the translation is Motherland. It is the story of a 10-year-old girl living in Paris, and she's from a Caribbean mother who migrated from the Caribbean. It's actually my story, and it's the conflict between the two generations. The mother who feels like an immigrant, who doesn't feel at home in Paris, and the young, 10-year-old who loves the neighborhood, who feel right at home in Paris, who has friends from all the gamut of society, upper class, lower class, all different colors, all different colorful friends, Caucasian friends, and she feels right at home. But her mom tells her you know, you're not at home here. You have to work twice as hard as anybody else, and do not fight, and be a good girl, and shut your mouth. You know, you talk only when you're asked. And that was my story, and I didn't really understand why my mother felt like this, because for me I was French, 100% French. Elsa is actually the continuation of that story. You pick up the character when she's about 20 years old. She graduated from college. She's an excellent student, but she's missing something in her life. And that thing that she's yearning for is her father. Because when I left the West Indies, my father stayed back there, and I never grew up with them. Actually, I had never met my father. So I really was yearning for his eyes. I was yearning for his touch, his voice, and I kept, you know, making this dream of somebody was holding me he was holding me in his arms, and he was embracing me really, really strong, and I would wake up, and I was feeling that it was not a dream, it was reality, because the dream was so strong, it was so good, it was so fulfilling. But yet, when I would wake up, I had to come to the conclusion that it was just a dream. So then I felt the need to go back to Guadeloupe, look for him, and Elsa is the story of this returning home, finding my father, and what happens when I meet him. Because you have to know that a large majority of Caribbean and African American children are estranged from their fathers. And what are their lives? How do they feel, you know, living away from this father? So my film examines the psychological impact of such a separation, of such a wound. And it is a film that inspires the children to try to make this connection with the father, and also an inspiration for the father to reconnect with the child.
Oh, pourquoi ne pas saisir la chance si l'on sent que tout est si pur comme la vérité?
Guadeloupe doesn't have a tradition of filmmaking, so cinema is very new for us as a craft. Of course, we've always been going to the movies and enjoying this art, but making it is a whole different story. But the governmentship of the island decided a few years ago to favor and to support filmmaking. So they've understood that a way to connect with the outside world and to make the island better known, it's to export the culture through filmmaking. So I was one of the filmmakers who had the opportunity to express myself and to tell my stories through filmmaking. So more and more there are film directors producing and directing film, which is a wonderful. First of all, it's much more difficult for a women filmmaker to be able to produce, a film, and most of the people so far who are well known in the industry are primarily men. But we are making headways. There's a lot of films being shot right now by women filmmakers, and we are fighting to gain more access to the financial to grants, because being French, we are definitely being French and black, we are a minority that are not as visible as the rest of the population. So we have to fight much more to be able to have access to grants, government money. So all this is changing slowly, but it's taking a long time to see progress. But we're fighting. Living in 3 different countries impact my work as a filmmaker. I think because it has made me more tolerant. It has made me understand both sides of the fence. I understand why some, I think like the way I do, and why the other on the other side think the way they do. I think I'm able to grasp the nuances of all three cultures, and that makes me a rich observer, a rich filmmaker, and more accepting of other people's culture. And I embraced my multiculturalism. I feel like it's a great gift for me to be able to speak French, English, Spanish, Creole. I feel like I'm a citizen of the world. When I'm with a French person, I'm French. When I'm with an African person, I'm African. If I'm with a German person, I'm German. If I'm in America, I'm American. And embracing and accepting, that situation is wonderful, because before I was having a hard time when I was younger accepting who I was. And as I grew up and as I was mingling with all the different cultures, it made me a very strong woman and a very rich person, inside. And I think that's beautiful, and I'm able to put all that, on the screen. I was in Detroit last week presenting my film, and one of the member of the public came and said, it would be so great for you to make a film in Detroit because you have a different perspective, on life. You see things differently, and we would love to see what you think, how you see Detroit. And I think that's an excellent. I liked this comment because I think, it's a beautiful thing to embrace, to be with, living in all different cultures. I think that we should be having so much more co-production between, for instance, the US and the Caribbean. I'm trying to develop that aspect of filmmaking, trying to bring students, young filmmakers from the Caribbean working in America and vice versa, developing program, because I think, it's the future of the world. Co-production financially is the future of the world, and also it's good to become friends, to be closer to each other, to better understand each other. I think filmmaking is a revolutionary tool that helps us become closer, helps become brothers and sisters. So it is something that we should develop, but it's something that's hard because it involves traveling, listening, and it's expensive, but I think we're getting closer to that. Some of the soundtrack, the musical theme is it was made just for the film, but I'm working with a French record label called Crayon Musique. One of my producers is Eric Basset, who's the owner of this record label, and he allowed me to use all these wonderful soundtrack that he has been producing with the local artists to use on my film. So you have such artists as Stevie Mai, who sings the end credit song called Beautiful in French Creole and in English. You have Soft, one of the hottest French Caribbean band right now. You have the rapper Chris. You have Rodrigue Marcel, Edith Lefel, who sings in Spanish. Tons of wonderful, original music. So if you want to support the film, go to iTunes, check out the film Elza, E-L-Z-E, with my name, Mariette Monpierre, and you can buy, each soundtrack, because it would be a way to support, the artists from Guadeloupe and go to Guadeloupe. You know, we would like, you know, American people, everybody around the world to come and discover my island. It's a beautiful island, Guadeloupe. Victor Ho is a wonderful musician from Martinique, and I am using a song called Black Magic Woman in the scene, and he's such a talented artist. I love him. He travels like all of us, back between Martinique, Guadeloupe, Paris. He's all over the planet. We're roaming. My philosophy, I live in the moment. Don't talk to me about yesterday or what's going to happen, you know, tomorrow. Now is the time. I mean right now, I'm in the moment. That's my philosophy. Everything is about love and happiness. Everything I do it, you know, not for the money. I do it for the love of it. I'm a very passionate person, very spontaneous person, and I don't think too much about, you know, what's next. All I know is that the best is yet to come, but the moment is what matters. Is traveling back to Guadeloupe, being, you know, enjoying a moment of peace, just watching the ocean and watching the sun come down. The magic hour is my favorite moment, and I always enjoy, you know, a moment, you know, by myself or with some friends, just sitting and watching the sun go down. Enjoying, you know, my son's presence, being with him and listen to him and talk to him. I enjoy music. My favorite food, rice and beans. And chicken, and curry chicken. But I also enjoy really good sushi. Really, a piece of really healthy, good sushi, the best. And one of my favorite drink, champagne. A glass of champagne, watching, you know, the sunset in Guadeloupe. That is perfect. Perfect moment. You know, one of my favorite musicians, and I've been rediscovering him, you know, lately, Bob Marley. Oh my God. Bob Marley touches my heart. You know, what he talks about, freedom, peace, simple little concepts that go such a long way. And his songs do not seem to be, they still seem to be, you know, they're not outdated. They're right, you know, for now. I enjoy also classical music. For instance, I love listening to Bach. I love listening to Johann Strauss. And my favorite Caribbean musician right now is Chevalier de Saint-Georges. He's a classical violinist, composer. He composed symphony. It was as great, if not greater than, you know, Mozart. But he is not well known. But now people are starting to discover him. He was completely deleted from history until, you know, the last 30 years. People have, you know, he's being recognized, and people have been writing books about him, and his CDs are being sold in at record stores. So, and I love Victor Ho, Soft, Stevie Mai, all those. These are the new trend in French Caribbean music. Check it out. My name is Mariette Monpierre, and I'm a filmmaker from Guadeloupe.